Change is permanent. Change is permanent, and in all our journeys, we encounter different milestones of that process of change. In my journey with Father Claude, which started in 1969, ended in direct contact about 1982. There were so many moments when I encountered that challenge to confront change in my own life and in the society that I lived in. So my journey, which I'm going to highlight in the few minutes I have, is in a way looking back, but more important, looking forward. That's what I'm more concerned about. Three things that I took back from ICAF, which I think is today even relevant and motivation for students. One is critical thinking. All that we did in ICAF was always based on a mindset that involves critical thinking, asking questions, challenging assumptions, challenging theories and models. The building blocks of that was moments when we had to study, read, reflect, and share. Whether it was Marxism and Christianity, liberation theology, structural analysis, or action reflection. That is one. I am where I am today because of critical thinking. Number two is direct encounter with the reality. What we called in the 60s and 70s in ICAF, Project No India. Where we, as like me, middle class, Catholic, Bangalore boy, directly working with people in the villages and families who were affected by floods, people in the slums, and landless workers in agriculture. That changed our lives. And experiencing their lives, their struggles, and their hopes, in a way became part of my journey and my encounter with change. There's one quote from Father Prof: to transform the mentality of students, to bring a new way of conscientizing, we need to look at reality in a different way, together with the people. Third, leadership and mobilization skills. Again, what I am today is because the work we did as students in ACAF and beyond gave us those, what I would call survival skills. How to communicate, how to speak, how to mobilize, how to organize. Those were the three things I take back from ICAF, which I think today is also still relevant. Option for the poor, in a way, was our non-negotiable principle, and remains so today. Even in my life today, option for the poor is a non-negotiable. Whether I work with the United Nations or the World Bank, option for the poor is non-negotiable. In fact, if you know, Dr. Kim, President of the World Bank, 2016, hijacked that term and used it in a speech, preferential option for the poor. So even our enemies can speak our language. So, in this moment of change, we live in a world today which, in my view, is actually not very different. It's new manifestation of old problems. We're experiencing a world where many old problems still persist. And therefore, what does this mean today for us as students? First, I think we need to re-establish the link between students and universities, student movements and organizations, and the social movements outside. That link has been lost. We need to re-establish that link. And it's our responsibility, those of us who are teachers and professors, to make sure that our students get that opportunity to be able to engage with the social movements. Number two, we have to develop not just academic intellectuals, but what I call the organic intellectuals. Insurgent intellectuals, if you want it. Critical thinkers. And we, again, as academics and as elders, have a responsibility for that towards our students. Third, very important. Let's get students to focus on solutions, not problems. What we need today in the world are alternatives to challenge the mainstream. We need solutions. And the more the solutions we develop with people and their struggles, and bring that into public discourse and engage with the dominant paradigm, that's where we're going to succeed in our struggles. Just checking the time, I couldn't see it. So for me, that is what today's student movement would be, among other things. There's three things. Link between students and social movements, organic intellectuals, insurgent intellectuals who have critical thinking, and one that can develop viable, local, global solutions to the dominant paradigm. Let me conclude. Every crisis, in my view, is an opportunity. We talk of populism, we talk of new fascism that's emerging, whether it's of the Modi type in India, or the Duterte type in the Philippines, or the Trump type in the US. Every crisis is an opportunity. And I think we now have the challenge to be able to build on that heritage and the history that India has been fortunate to have as ICAF and as a student movement, and to be able to challenge and take that opportunity to deal with the crisis. Let me finish with a quote, one of my favorite quotes. This has given me motivation for all these years of my professional life. It's taken from Steve Jobs, Apple. And it says, your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Do not be trapped by dogma, which is living with other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of other opinions drown your own inner voice. And most of all, most importantly, have the courage to follow your heart and your intuition. That, I think, is what we need to be today. Thank you very much.